Alright, hello there ladies and gentlemen, Moletrap here, coming at you with another day of StarCraft 2 action here at the GSL Code A. I am Moletrap, as I mentioned, and today I am going to be casting for you guys solo here on the secondary stream. And of course, if you happen to have tuned into this stream in anticipation of GSL and you are a premium member so you can access this stream, remember, you can tune into both streams at once as well. If you set up your GOM player settings to allow multiple instances or multiple GOM players, you can actually open up both at once if you'd like. Put them side by side, one on top of the other, whatever you prefer, and you can watch both games at once if you're a good multitasking viewer. Or you can just tune into one or the other, of course, and watch the VODs later on. Today, we have a great set of games here on the second stream for you. There's going to be good games, obviously, on the main stream as well. But I'm really looking forward to these games today. We're going to start off with Squirtle versus InCa. An interesting battle of some very good Protoss versus Protoss players. And we're going to go into Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus Virus, a ZVT. Both those players are very, very strong, actually. And they're both kind of up and coming, trying to prove themselves here. So one of them is going to get a chance to go into the third round of Code A for a chance to win a Code S spot. Then we're going to have another great PvP later on with Brown versus Killer. That's going to be exciting as well. Killer just recently joining the Complexity team. And then, last but not least, we're going to have Maru versus Happy. And that is going to be an interesting match as well. Happy has been playing so well lately. I'm actually almost a little surprised that he's gotten knocked down here to Code A. And so we're going to see if he can take up Maru, who defeated his similarly named brethren in Morrow last week. Anyway, we're going to get started with game number 1 of Squirtle versus InCa. This is going to be a great match. Both these guys are great at Protoss versus Protoss. It's going to be awesome. We're getting started with game number 1 of Metropolis right now. Alright, and here we have over at the bottom, well, not the bottom really, but the left-hand side of the map, Metropolis. It is none other than from the team Startail, Squirtle. Doing a little bit there. My mouse zoom is turned off, so I was trying to zoom at the same time, be slick like the other stream, but we'll do that maybe later on once I figure out the other hotkey. And over here at the right side of the map is none other than a former GSL silver medalist. It is OGS InCa. And as I said, this is the map Metropolis. And it's going to be an interesting game. I'm curious to see what kind of strategies these guys go for. This is going to probably be very similar to, I remember I was talking with Wolf during our PvP casting yesterday about maps like Dual Sight, where it's probably going to be a battle of different tech-based builds. We saw, in fact, Blinkstalkers versus Blinkstalkers yesterday on Dual Sight, for instance, because this is a map where you've got a ramp. It's a very small ramp, so you can defend it pretty easily, but then your natural expansion is very wide open and open to possible attack, and so it's going to be really hard to hold an expansion against this wide choke point here. So, we're going to see if either player decides to go for that. They're probably going to end up teching up or what have you, but we're going to find out in a little while. Usually in a Protoss versus Protoss, you don't see much going on for a little while in terms of the tech, because, well, they want to make sure they can kill the scouting probe, and so they often wait until a stalker is out to kill the scouting probe, or at least force it out before you see tech choices. So, anyway, we have both players scouting each other. It is cross positions, and they're knowing exactly what each other's doing. Pearls are just going to be running around for a while. Now while this game is kind of gearing up a little bit here, I'm going to talk briefly about these players. Like I said, these guys are both very good at Protoss versus Protoss. Both very, very strong players in that. I think, yeah, InCa, he's played a lot of PvP. In fact, a lot of his successes in the past have been due to PvP. He's been around since Open Season 1, by the way, so InCa is definitely a kind of a veteran here, although Squirtle has been around a long time in the GSL scene as well. But yeah, just taking a look at InCa here real quick, like I said, he's very good at PvP. He actually has a 76% win rate in Protoss versus Protoss matches. That's InCa, who's over here on the right side of the map, by the way, that I'm talking about. And yeah, now the only thing though about that is that he hasn't played it in a while. It's been a long time since he's had a victory. It's been a few months since he beat Guinea Pig in an ESV weekly. And his most recent PvP experience, though, is just previously, just in Code S, he actually played Oz and lost to Oz, and that's why he's down here in Code A, because he did lose to Oz in Code S this season in a, well, he actually did take a game off him, and Oz is extremely good PvP, so you can't take too much away from him, but point being, that is his most recent experience in Protoss versus Protoss. On the other hand, we do have Squirtle, who also has a very good record. By the way, both players just going for 2 gateways here, just going ahead and chrono boosting out Stalkers. The only difference here is that we do have the Twilight Council going down for InCa. Is Squirtle going to plan on moving into some other kind of tech? Yes, he is. He's getting the robotics facility, so we finally have them doing their different choices here. I was going to say real quick about Squirtle before we get into that. He is 71% win rate in PvP in his career in Korean games, which is very impressive as well. And most recently, doing a nice stomping to Tassadar, beating him 4-1 in an ESV Weekly just a couple months ago, 2-3 months ago. So they both look pretty strong in PvP. Squirtle maybe looking a little bit stronger lately, but it is one of the fortes of InCa. Now here we go. Some Stalkers are moving in for Squirtle. They're going to catch him a little bit off guard here. This is actually horrible timing. His Twilight Council is up and the Dark Shrine is on the way, but it's not going to be up in time. These Stalkers are all on the base. Oh, they can target down the pylon, which is actually only going to unpower, I think, 1 gateway. If it unpowers 2 of them, it will be bad. It does unpower 2 gateways, and it is all up to these 4 Stalkers now that are left to do the damage, and he's losing Stalkers left and right with only 0 gateways functional right now. He's not going to be able to warp in any more units either. Pylon is warping in right now to try and power those gateways, and the Pylon's going to finish about the same time as the Dark Train. No, the Dark Train is still a ways away from completing, so a very risky build here by InCa, going for the DT rush, and it just did not work out at all, and it was just a nice little timing there where the tech was not quite up yet. Look at one Stalker hitting each other there. Nice little trade-off, and actually the Dark Train is going to get in. It's going to be able to warp stuff in, but yeah, and you see him warping in those DTs over here, hoping to go for some kind of a trade. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? An observer is about to pop out. He's got another observer queued up, and these DTs are going to do no damage at all. We're going to see GG any moment now from InCa as soon as those DTs die. Yes, there they go. GG, and Squirtle takes a really easy game number 1 off of a gamble by InCa. So, you know, that's how it goes. If you go for a DT rush, I mean, it's a bit of a risk. He was hoping that his opponent was maybe going Blink Stalkers and would be caught without a robotics facility, and it was just a kind of a gamble. He says, all right, well, I'm just going to throw down this Dark Shrine and bet that you are not going to get anything to counter that. So, a quick and easy win for Squirtle. InCa, his risk did not pay off, his gamble didn't, and we're going to be getting started with game number 2 here in just a minute. It's going to be on the map Crossfire, and the countdown has actually already begun. Both players are ready, and InCa, in fact, is congratulating Squirtle on a job well done in the chat right before this game starts. We're going to get started here on game number 2 and see if InCa can tie up the series or if Squirtle will take it home and advance quickly.